finally back at the box. A wild weekend at Skipper Field sees the Tigers' record remain unscathed. But the team looks anything but unbeatable. We'll bring you the recap from that game.
Plus, LSU men's basketball now sits atop the SEC standings after road wins against Kentucky and Georgia within the last 7 days. We'll recap their trip to Athens and look forward to the blockbuster matchup against Tennessee. The final score starts right now. Welcome to the final score. I'm Lily Fontenot. She's Caroline Fenton. And LSU baseball is back. And with that comes the heart-stopping thrills you would expect from an LSU sports team.
And the top-ranked Tigers saw multiple comebacks from the LSU basketball team this season and basically said, hold my beer. The rallying started opening night against UL Monroe. Tiger TV sports reporter Anna Jane Howell has the story.
Season has started for a top-ranked team in college baseball, but it didn't start as planned. The ULM Warhawks came off strong, and the Tigers did not take the lead until the bottom of the 7th inning. Starting pitcher Zach Hess gave up 3 runs in the first inning, and the Tigers only answered 2 to start.
Yeah, I mean, they were putting some good swings on me early on in the game. I thought, honestly, we were attacking the zone pretty well, but that you got to give them credit. They were jumping on the fastball, and they were making me pay for it. But, luckily, our offense stepped up in a big way tonight.
The Warhawks would score 4 more and find themselves tied with LSU in the bottom of the 8th when Antoine Duplantis hit a grand slam and propelled the Tigers to victory. However, Duplantis wasn't the only one with an impressive performance at the plate.
Now, sophomore Daniel Cabrera was known for hitting last season and did not disappoint tonight with 2 homers, but home plate wasn't the only place on the field where he made plays.
I told you how much Cabrera had improved defensively. I mean, when he got here last year, I would have called him a very, average to mediocre outfielder, but he works at it every day. And today he saved the game for us with 2 tremendous plays. And obviously the double play after they had tied the game, if he doesn't make that catch and the ball goes to the wall, we're losing in the bottom of the 8th inning. Instead, the game remained tied and we were able to get a good rally put together.
Both Cabrera and Duplantis were named to the second-team preseason All-SEC, and they proved why.
Antoine Duplantis' 2 homers Friday night match his entire season totals from both his freshman and sophomore seasons.
Day 2 for LSU baseball was just as exciting as the first. The Tigers completed their 2nd consecutive comeback victory in dramatic fashion thanks to this walk-off home run from freshman Cade Beloso.
I blacked out, honestly. I really don't remember much. I remember seeing the umpire's hand twirling, and I got the goosebumps, and I just looked at all my teammates around home plate, and I just started smiling and just getting excited.
Another freshman who stood out was starting pitcher Landon Marceau, who had his first collegiate start as a Tiger.
I always say it's still baseball. You got to do your job when your name's called, and the coach has confidence in us freshmen, and we're going to be a big part of this year.
Head coach Paul Maneri was pleased that his freshmen were able to keep their composure despite the electric atmosphere of Alex Box.
It didn't take long for the new players to find out that there's something special about playing baseball at LSU, and especially in the box. And these 2 nights the atmosphere has been pretty cool. So glad we were able to win the games.
Game 3 was not nearly as exciting as the first 2, but Tiger fans were very excited to see a star in the making as freshman pitcher Jaden Hill started off the game with 3 strikeouts. Coach Maneri announced last Thursday that Hill and not Eric Walker would start versus Air Force. But while he had a great debut, both Hill and Maneri see room for improvement in the breaking ball.
Going from high school, I played a position, so I would usually just pitch on days it was time for me to pitch. I really didn't throw a bullpen in between days, but now every day I come out and I have the ball in my hand, so just getting more comfortable with the ball being in my hand helps out a lot, and I get a lot better feeling from it. I had an okay feel for my changeup. It could have been a lot better, but it was mainly my fastball, breaking ball.
So that's what has made him a better pitcher this spring than he was in the fall. In the fall, he didn't have that differentiation, and now he's changing speed so much better. And he didn't throw a lot of really great changeups today. He threw a lot of good sliders. But when he's got his changeup working, he can really vary speeds, and he throws all those pitches for strikes, which makes him very tough.
Hill had just 1 walk with 8 strikeouts and 1 earned run in 5 innings pitched. The Tigers will take on Southeastern Lions in the box tomorrow night before they travel to Northwestern State on Wednesday to take on the Demons. Freshman Cole Henry is expected to start tomorrow, and Eric Walker will get the start on Wednesday.
From the box to the PMAC now as LSU Gymnastics welcomed in Mizzou to Baton Rouge on Sunday after winning the Jim Quarters Invitational just 2 days before. The Purple and Gold Tigers kept their winning ways up, putting up a season-high score in the process. The Tigers put up a score of 197.65 in the win, and fellow Missouri native Sarah Finnegan captured her 7th all-around title in 2019 with a personal total of 39.575. Senior McKenna Kelly won her first vault title with a career-high 9.925. Kelly was one of 3 Tigers to score a 9.95 on floor as the LSU closed out the meet with a season-high 49.550. Coach Dee Dee Bro was obviously happy with the back-to-back great performances, but also says that competing at such a high level in such quick succession bodes very well for their postseason hopes.
Postseason is 2 days in a row, 2 meets in a row, and we don't have the opportunity to be able to do that in competition season. But to be able to go on the road and have a great meet on the podium and then come home with this great crowd and all the enthusiasm that our LSU family brings us was just very, very gratifying. And the kids were tired, and they were saying it a little bit. I could hear it. I'm really tired, but they fought through that and broke through that, and then all of a sudden the momentum and the enthusiasm took over, and we saw a great performance with a great.
Next, the Tigers will travel to Fayetteville to take on the 21st ranked Arkansas Razorbacks this Friday at 7:30. When we return, we'll talk LSU men's basketball's resume-defining week. More final score after this. Welcome back to the show. LSU basketball had a season-defining week, beating 5th-ranked Kentucky on the road in Rupp Arena for the first time since 2009 on Tuesday.
Then on Saturday, LSU went to Athens, Georgia, and beat the struggling Georgia Bulldogs. The win was a hard-fought one for the then number 19 Tigers. We'll start the recap with Javonte Smart, who had a great night, putting up 19 points, including these 2 points in the paint. Tremont Waters also had a big night, which is nothing new for him, scoring 20 points against the Bulldogs, including a beautiful three-pointer right here from way downtown. The Tigers not only outplayed Georgia on offense, but they also had some great defense as well. That block there from Naz Reid and Marlon Taylor. Reid had 13 points for the night, and then later on, Waters with the steal bounces it off the foot of a Bulldog to Skylar Mays, who tosses it in for 2. Final score, Tigers 83, Bulldogs 79. LSU's overall record improves to 21-4 with the win. The win, coupled with Tennessee's loss to Kentucky later that day, means LSU now sits atop the SEC standings, tied with Tennessee on record, but in first place due to the tiebreaker. The Tigers will have a chance to consolidate that top spot on Wednesday against Florida, and then the mammoth matchup against Tennessee this Saturday in the PMAC.
Tennessee's loss, they were bumped from the number 1 spot down to the number 5 in the AP poll, 1 spot below Kentucky. LSU sits at number 13. The Vols may attribute that L to playing in the loud and rowdy Rupp Arena in Lexington, but Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes assures that his team thrives on the road.
There's probably less distractions on the road because, once we get there, we've done the same thing that we've done on the road for 4 years now. And we're going to practice, get on the bus, get off, have a meal, have our meeting.
So it'll be business as usual for the Big Orange when they take the trip to Baton Rouge. But it's a sold-out show on Saturday, and the PMAC will live up to its nickname as the Deaf Dome. So the PMAC may just be rocking enough to rattle Tennessee and give LSU a true home court advantage.
That is true, but LSU cannot overlook the home game against Florida on Wednesday night. Florida is 6-6 in the SEC, including a win over Arkansas, who is LSU's only loss in the conference. When we return, we'll talk some pro basketball. The All-Star game was last night, and it was a star-studded show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the final score. The NBA All-Star game was last night, and it did not disappoint. Social media was going crazy over the insane three-pointers and mind-blowing dunks that the NBA's finest had to offer. But one dunk in particular was blowing people's mind. This bounce pass from Curry to Giannis slamming it down with one hand.
Wow, that takes talent. Team LeBron ended up defeating Giannis 178-164 after coming back from a 20-point deficit. Warriors forward Kevin Durant was named MVP of the game, putting up 31 points and 7 rebounds. Former LSU Tiger Ben Simmons had 10 points and 7 assists.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to follow us on all social media at LSU Tiger TV and on Twitter at TTV_sports. Also check out our website, tigertv.tv, for all things LSU sports and news.